enjoy and share. The Lord gave me a word the other day about illusions, that it's one of the things that are at play about this time. Okay, just to explain what I saw in this dream, that was a person who was female, who was male pretending to be female and looking female, or the other way around. And apart from that, which is a lot like our society today, there were a lot of things that were about that dream that were pointing towards illusion, and this was confirmed by a word. So this is very much in line with the prophecy of Daniel regarding the end of days, where he says that in the last days there will be a strong delusion. Now, a delusion is a story or a reality that is created to cover up the truth. A created reality or a deception. It's actually a deception that is so good to the extent that those who are observing believe it to be the reality. Now, I'll let your imaginations run wild on why there's been an intense effort at creating this delusion. Remember when God said that in the last days, men will deny spirituality while in themselves possessing some form of a godliness. That's the age that you're living in. We're living in the age of delusions. I remember my grandmother telling us about, she was telling us about being chased by giants. I was in primary school those days, a teenager, and I laughed at the story to the extent that she stopped talking about it. Now, the reason why I laughed at the story is because I was drawing my reality from my understanding of the world, which was entirely based on modern education, modern civilization. Don't mind the fact that there have been civilizations that have lived for thousands, some might argue even tens, if not hundreds of thousands, long before ours. There have been discoveries that put the existence of human civilization way beyond what is accepted. Now, the delusion is controlled in our current civilization. I think this is the only civilization that has worked intensely to create its own reality. I've spoken in my various videos about various aspects of this reality that has a lot of deception in it. Check my videos on the prophets of democracy. Check my video on where I'm talking about the deception of the current systems of the world, where I'm talking about justice as presented in our current world. Is the concept of human rights just about human rights? And what does it mean to Christians when the Word of God tells you to submit yourself to all authority? And your constitution gives you the permission to insult your leaders in the name of freedom of speech. When the Bible talks about disciplining your children, spare the rod, spoil the child, and your Children's Act is referring to children's rights, human rights, where does that leave you? This is a kind of illusion that has been created, first of all by law, second by culture. So that right now we have come to accept things as truth that are more ridiculous than the things that we discarded them for. Okay. So, we are living in a great delusion. You know what I find interesting is the effort at covering up the previous generations that were not, let's say, as that were different, I'd say, the kinds of powers that they possessed, the effort at revising what we've come to accept as the Word of God by making it more culturally acceptable, while in fact watering down the miracles, the supernatural aspects. And this is happening not just with the Bible, but even some of the ancient scriptures the ancient scripts that have managed to be sneaked out. So I'll leave you with that be mindful of the delusion. We're living in a seriously deluded reality. Deception has replaced the truth. So what is the truth? The Lord said this about the people who had not received the word. Truth does not have to be, it doesn't have to be taught. Because in men, there is that signature that God has placed inside of you. With truth can direct you towards righteousness, truth, goodness, and godliness. The Lord also says regarding the people who had not received the gospel that in nature there's a reminder of godliness in nature.